Have you ever felt a strange mix of excitement and unease while watching a crypto chart move? Like a roller coaster that you can't step off, even though part of you knows you probably should. That little voice in your head whispers, maybe I should sell, maybe I should buy, maybe I'm missing out. And somehow, despite all the logic, the emotional pull is stronger than reason. It's not just you. Almost everyone who interacts with crypto feels it at some point. There's something about the way these digital markets operate that taps into our deepest instincts: fear, greed, curiosity, even hope. And yet, so few of us pause to think about why we act the way we do. When I first started paying attention to crypto, I thought it was all about numbers, charts, and trends. I thought if I just learned enough patterns, I could control the outcomes. But very quickly, I realized it wasn't just the market that I needed to understand, it was myself. We often hear about FOMO, that creeping fear of missing out, and at first it seems like a silly term, almost trivial, but it isn't. FOMO is a psychological force that's been with humans for millennia. It's the same instinct that made our ancestors stick with the group, follow the herd, and avoid risks that could leave them isolated. And in crypto, it's amplified. Seeing others celebrate gains, watching coins skyrocket on your feed, or hearing about someone else's luck, it triggers the same primal responses. You feel the pull to act, even when your mind knows better. And then there's fear. Fear of losing what you have, fear of making the wrong choice, fear of being left behind. It's subtle at first, creeping in during small decisions, hesitating to sell, doubting your strategy, checking charts obsessively at 2 a.m. And sometimes that fear becomes overpowering, pushing people to sell too early or buy impulsively. It's not a flaw, it's human nature. What's interesting is how these emotions interact with logic. We like to believe we make rational decisions. We like to tell ourselves, I'm in control, I have a plan. But when your emotions are running high, your brain often interprets risk differently. Losses feel heavier than gains, excitement feels magnified, and patience becomes almost unbearable. This is called loss aversion, a simple but powerful human bias. It explains why we sometimes sell during dips or chase every rising coin, even when a part of us knows that reacting immediately is rarely the best choice. You might notice patterns in your own behavior. Maybe you've checked your portfolio dozens of times in one day, feeling waves of relief and dread with every update. Or maybe you've watched others make gains and wondered why you didn't act sooner, feeling a mix of regret and envy. These aren't mistakes, they're reflections of how our minds are wired, and recognizing them is the first step towards understanding yourself in the context of crypto. It's fascinating to see how these psychological patterns play out at scale. On forums, in comment sections, across social media, you'll see waves of optimism followed by panic, rational discussion drowned out by fear and hype. And when you watch it from a distance, it almost becomes like observing nature, humans responding to stimuli, driven by instincts and biases, repeating the same behaviors over and over. One of the most valuable lessons in all of this is awareness. Simply noticing how your mind reacts to gains, losses, excitement, or fear gives you a form of control. Not total control, there's no such thing, but enough to make decisions that feel aligned with your long-term thinking, not just the momentary tug of emotion. Another insight comes from patience, the ability to step back, breathe, and observe without immediately acting is rare, especially in markets designed to be fast-paced and attention-grabbing. But when you practice this pause, when you recognize the pull of FOMO or fear, you start to see patterns. You start to understand yourself. And with that understanding, your choices carry more intention and less reaction. And yet, it's okay to feel the emotions. Excitement, nervousness, doubt, they're all part of the experience. Denying them doesn't help.
Instead, acknowledging them, naming them, and letting them guide you rather than control you, that's where the balance lies. At the end of the day, crypto isn't just a market, it's a mirror. It reflects not just opportunities and losses, but our own thoughts, habits, and behaviors. It challenges us, frustrates us, and sometimes even humbles us. But it also offers a rare chance to observe ourselves in a high-stakes environment, to learn patience, to study our impulses, and to grow our self-awareness. So, the next time you feel that tug, whether it's fear, greed, or curiosity, take a moment, step back, reflect. Notice what your mind is doing before you act, not because you're trying to predict the market, but because you're learning about yourself. And in the long run, understanding yourself might be just as valuable as understanding any chart or trend. If this made you pause and think, consider exploring more of these reflections in our next video, where we dive deeper into how small mental habits can shape the way we interact with markets every day. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. It's a space to explore, reflect, and understand the fascinating world of crypto and the minds behind it.